Good
Good
morning,
morning.
Mr. 1800. Awesome, awesome.
Good morning. Good morning.
So
Hey,
I have
quick
these.
question. Which email do you use to log in more often? The coaching or the 91282?
Not 9128. You have a code one with coaching?
Yeah, it says Louis LEWK coaching at Gmail.
I don't even use that. Yeah, just
Okay.
get rid of yeah. I
Okay.
that must have been a long time ago when I heard the name Sean Murphy. That's no, I it's the 91282 for yeah, that's
Okay. Cool.
that's this. Thank you. Um, what an amazing morning. That was spectacular. I kept wanting to get on and went, no, that I need to hear this. I need to hear this. I need to hear this. Um the interesting thing was and that was so amazing, the depth and the infinite impact that lost keys and lost anything but lost keys in can be the small things.
Yep.
So my it's kind of changed what I wanted to talk about. Anyway, the I have a question because I had a fascinating day yesterday, and it truly is, as how I have to look at it is fascinating. Um my intention yesterday was my BNI meeting in the morning, and I had a little bit of a part to play, talk about character. I was like, okay, let's get in this state. And the state was to elevate my energy, that I would brighten the space, walk in and brighten the space. I know I do, but I wanted to make it bigger,
Right.
wanted to expand. And so many times people, I always I join something, and then the next thing I know is I'm a leader of it before I even know anything about it.
Okay.
Like, and it's not me, it's not me coming in to become the leader necessarily. It must be in my subconscious, but the other part is that people like, oh, just ask Louise. She's got it. She's a straight shooter, blah blah blah, whatever. And I've been learning to say no, but because of the old story, I was always saying yes because absolutely, I'm pleasing people. This is important. It's good for my ego. Anyway, all of all of that to be said, it was incredible just being in that state, not to get anybody to respond to me, but to really feel it. And I just, oh my gosh, I was in such an amazing space and I was loving it. I'm like, oh, this is where I want to stay and be of value. I just felt, it just felt so in harmony. So the meeting's over. Someone wants to meet with me, meet some more, do some problem solving, which was like so easy.
Hmm.
Walk out, get ready to go to leave, and I'm leaving the parking lot, and somebody pulls out of their parking lot at 100 miles an hour, it seemed, and smashes me. And I said an expletive right away without anger. It was
Right.
just like, oh shit,
Right.
you know. And I got out, and the thing was, the state stayed with me.
Hmm.
Mind you, Sean, everybody in my family, everybody thinks I'm completely nuts.
Good.
And I said, thank you. Thank you. This is what has transpired. This is where I'm like, now this thought came, why did that happen? What were you thinking of? What was, you know, anyway, that's my question. I'm like, what's going on? I know that there's always the opposite. I mean, I knew that. And I'm thinking, is this a test? Because I don't know if I told you, but the the evening before, it was a parking lot thing. Bam, no damage to my car.
Mm-hmm.
A gal pulled into me and she's got damage anyway. So now I'm feeling like I'm restricted from parking lots. I mean, I should. So how do I process that? What am I missing?
So what did you do the night before? What did you share the night before? What was the dialogue? What was the engagement? What was the community you were a part of?
You mean
The,
after?
the evening. What did you do in the evening where the woman pulled into you? You had no damage. She
Oh,
did.
I was. It was just grocery shopping, coming
Okay.
out of a grocery store shop, and our engagement was
Oh,
um
no, what were you doing in the grocery store? What did you
checking a list.
what did you encounter? What was your state? Did you get a
Um,
phone call that something good news happened?
nope. It was it. I always my When I went into the grocery store, the game I was playing with myself was to make sure that I eye contact everybody and smile at them and see how many smiles I could get. That was what I was doing, and it was being fairly successful. A couple of people were taken by surprise and smiled back. No conversations, but just smiling.
So no damage,
No damage.
just like the parking lot,
Yes.
but awareness.
Yes. Oh, wow. I did connect the two. Yes. Yes.
And the second day, the parking lot that's your price for giving away free information.
Okay.
You're not a charity and you got your hand slapped. Stop being a charity.
Need to be more aware of that.
I'll give. Great. Now you get to pay for something. You get to pay for something, even though it might be their fault. Pay for something that you didn't want. You got no space. You got no time to pay for it. You're too busy giving away everything. Say, listen, if you'd like to have a conversation, I'd love to continue this conversation. You're more than welcome. Why don't we look at our schedules and see when we can book an appointment, book a session? And what you'll find is nobody wants to book a session. And you don't have to
Wow.
give away the information.
That is interesting. That is wow. I'm thinking what I'm doing
Is
is
serving them, but you're not serving yourself.
I'm serving them in a way to sort of ignite some curiosity, but I'm going too far.
Yeah, you're coaching instead of selling. What would it mean for you to have a solution to this thing? Great, then we should book a session. Because right now, this isn't. You deserve better than me in a hallway in a parking lot. Because if your problem is solvable in a hallway in a parking lot, it really ain't that big of a problem, is it?
Wow. That was one of the things I wrote down in my character is that um, I go overboard, actually having to do with like a few sessions ago when you were talking about giving information without being asked.
Mhm.
And that was a big aha for me. And that's what I wrote down, but that's what I'm still doing.
Just in a different. It looks different.
It
because you're in a
looks
different
different.
state.
Yeah.
You're in a different state. So, oh, I'm really providing value. They ain't gonna do shit with it. So then you create a karmic response of, I gave and they didn't do, and because of the Akashic records, that they're not doing anything. And the next time you see them, they're going to ask you the same question. Like, I told you this already, but you're going to go, remember when we talked about, and now you're wasting your time.
Interesting how we compartmentalize things because
Well, it's default mode network.
yeah.
It's not that it's not that you didn't know this. It's just you weren't aware of this, and you can only become aware of what you're aware of. And until you sit down and ask, you could have come up with this on your own. But we have to have some deep, deep work, and we've got to use all of our experiences. The thing that I'm blessed with, and you're blessed with as well as a coach, is that we get to interact with a lot of people who give us a lot of stories. But we have to give space. We have to open up this place, this vacuum of possibility, and allow things to flow in. The only way you can receive content is to allow a vacuum of nothingness to exist. Because if I got somethingness in my brain, I can't hear the nothingness. And too many people are ready to fix strategy. I hardly ever talk strategy.
And that's what I'm evolving to.
Yep.
However, I'm still having a conversation.
Because your identity won't let you say no. Yes, Louise knows. I do know. And you know what, because I do know, because they say you need to ask Louise, here's what I'm going to offer. Use that word. Here's what I'm going to offer you. Are you looking for a solution for a lifetime or a lunchtime? Because the lunchtime, I don't know if you're going to do anything with it. Would you like a solution that you could act on, that you could see a path forward, or do you just want me to spout out something to make you feel good right now? Either way, I'm fine.
Yeah, because yeah. The difference, the lie of thinking being empathetic is
Well, are you really being empathetic or sympathetic and just wanting to give them a solution they're not going to use so you feel better?
oh, I think maybe you're yeah, it's more empathetic. I mean sympathetic.
Right. You got sympathy for
Taking it on versus it's not mine. It's yours. You know, it's theirs to deal with. And I like you said, I'm fine either way.
Mhm.
That's the state that I'm fine either way. Because it's not my problem to
Nope.
solve.
Nope. And you ask them a question. What do you think the solution looks like? What's the path of your solution? I might be able to help you over some speed bumps, but what do you think the best solution is? I don't know. Then you probably won't know, you won't recognize the solution I offer you.
Hmm.
It's all about our words.
Very interesting. You know, what I'm aware of right now in understanding that this is the price that event was the price.
Mm-hmm.
for me to that I had to pay, that I paid.
Because
I'm still not wound up about it.
right, and here's the thing. The reason there was a price to pay is to get you mad. We had to raise your emotion. The universe said, we've got to increase your emotion so you can become aware. Because you're walking around, AKA numb, to your
Mm-hmm.
greatness.
Yeah.
I gave it away one more time. Bam! Stop doing that. That was the proverbial put your right hand out.
There we go. Right hand. Yep. Yep. The other part, when I woke up this morning and my alarm goes off, and it has a song of, it's in a different room, and it has a song of like, I don't know, I can't remember, by the sea or something.
Right.
Anyway, I just started circling and skipping around because there was this, you have to find out why, that was starting to spin me up. I went, I will. It will come. I'm going to talk to Sean today. I'll be fine. And it, with the spinning around, was, I got a little dizzy, but it was fun. It
Yeah.
was fun. And I don't, it's, there's so much going on, but there's so much wonderful stuff. It just was like, I'm not allowed to go in parking lots anymore, or, you know, I'm restricted from any parking, or anyway. Um, it's just, who has something like that back to back? Who has that? I'm like,
Everybody does. They
okay,
just don't recognize it.
wake up. Wake up, Louise. There's something here.
But you had these at an infinitesimal scale back to back every day this week. It just didn't cause you focus. It's called habitual patterns. It's called hedonism. We're responsible for our own joy. And so you walking into a parking lot, you were responsible for your own joy. You had to have somebody hit you to take you out of your own responsibility. That wasn't your responsibility to get hit, but you needed to get hit so you could wake up from the illusion.
Oh,
Some people, the hit that they get is called cancer,
yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean,
right? But you hear what you did? Yeah. Oh yeah. It took on a different depthness.
oh, yeah.
We have to take everything at the deepest possible level, because if God's hand is on anything, it's our ability to use free will. What if
Absolutely.
you were 5 minutes later leaving the parking lot, leaving in to get into the parking lot? It would have never happened.
Yeah,
So how perfect was God's timing?
absolutely perfect all the time.
So we have to ask ourselves before we go transition into anything, is this the right time? God, should I move faster, move slower? Should I pay attention to, maybe there was a nickel in the parking lot that if you bent down and picked it up, you would have avoided the whole thing.
No, I knew, and there was no doubt this was happening for me. I just didn't know what the for me was.
Yep. That's the price you're paying for free.
And I needed outside input from the Sean. Yeah, and that makes total sense. It just didn't even, well, the part that you revealed to me, or you know, helped me see, is that I'm still giving away,
Yep.
and this is the price. That's where it starts. It's not, wasn't the impact to my car. It was that, and times before, and building it all up, just like the buildup of all of these wonderful stepping stones and lessons that have brought me to the state of actually getting out of the car and laughing,
Yep.
but I didn't know why. Just calling my insurance agent laughing, and he thinks I'm out of my mind. But
Good.
he gets paid, so what does he
But
care?
hang on. So here's the thing to become aware of. The other lesson that might be woven into this tapestry of possibilities is that the identity you have, that everybody thinks you're crazy. Don't even, their opinion is their opinion. But when you speak it, remember what it says? If you speak
Oh,
of
yes.
illness, so you're speaking of craziness. And the universe says, well, if everybody thinks you're crazy, we got to make you crazy then.
Yeah.
Say, I love how people are aware of my transition. But we say, everybody thinks I'm crazy so that you can still stay normal. You're not normal anymore. I love how people are aware of my transition.
And thank you for putting words to it, because that's exactly how I feel, but that's not what I've been saying.
Right.
It excites me to the point where at one point I said to my daughter, who was like, Mom, I said, and I love that. She says, "Ugh." I said, yeah, well, you're in Colorado and you've got 30 inches of snow, so deal with that. You know, you'll be fine.
Right.
Um, um, so going forward, Sean,
Yep.
going forward,
Yep.
um, it was a real interesting exercise this morning about my characteristics.
Hmm.
And it was all the things, and I'm going to go back and listen to do it again, because there's so many. And the interesting thing was I wasn't thinking of the damning things that used to
Hmm.
in the old story. However, I had to I appreciated what Selena said, because there, some are bipolar, you know, and it's not necessarily, anyway, it was interesting to well, it was very revealing and freeing in some cases to just write them down and know that those are my characters. Here's what I'm working on. This is what I need to work. I did not write down the what is what would be the word for someone like I'm just throwing things out there, throwing money
Scattered.
out there. Pardon?
Yeah. Scattered or
Yeah, just throwing information out there because, I want to help, or here's a solution. On the other hand, doesn't that have something to do with my ego thinking I have the solution? So here,
well, it does, but the other thing is that it's not you haven't found your niche. Because if you found your niche, then you don't have to answer everybody's question. You only have to answer their question.
there's a characteristic right there.
I could answer a lot of questions on how to build stuff and everything else. I don't answer those questions. That ain't my strength. I'm good at it. I'm better than the average bear. I can I can do electrical work. I can do haphazard carpentry work. I can do a lot of things, but I don't talk about it. That ain't my thing. Somebody says, "Hey, can you come and help us build a barn?" You're damn skippy. I can. I love to. Oh my God, I can't believe you know all this stuff. I'm a farm boy. You know all this stuff. It's a proof that I'm a farm boy because I know all this stuff. I can tell everybody out right in Texas. We'd say they're all hat and no cattle,
Oh,
right? So all of that to say, when somebody asks me a question that's outside of my niche that I know that I am world class at, that's a fascinating question. I wish I had the answer to that. Now, there's a variety of ways that we can get to that answer through what my specialty is. But to answer that question where I think you're asking it from, I really don't have any experience on that.
So what is the best method to find the niche?
What
I've
business are
had
you in?
in coaching. So
Awesome. What business are you really in?
in helping people find peace and joy in their life.
Yeah, you do that, and that's why you're broke. It's easy to help people find peace and joy. I can give somebody $5 and go, "Oh my God, thank you." I help them find peace and joy. I help them increase their wealth. I'm a wealth coach. Here's $5. I'm broke, but everybody else around me is rich because I give away everything I got. So what business are you in, and what business are you really in? Answer those questions, and you'll wind up getting out to the parking lot before everybody else leaves.
Uh,
I'm in the business of providing value to individuals. This is me. I'm in the business of providing value to individuals who are ready, willing, and able. It's rare to find all three. What business am I really in? Teaching courageous integrity. What business do I need to be in 6 months? How to teach others to be courageous and in their integrity.
so when I started doing this, when I felt called to do this, it had to do with bringing people out of the pain that is caused by the lies that they've been telling themselves.
Okay, so say that shorter. What business are you really in? Say that same thing, but say it in less words, more powerful words, deeper meaning words.
I'm going to use the word, I love the word emancipation.
Yep.
Emancipating, emancipating, um, emancipating individuals. Uh, emancipating individuals from their personal untruth.
Okay. Those are very, very sexy words. I don't know
Yeah,
what the hell I don't know
but
what they mean.
they're sort of
I
fluffy.
emancipate people from the slavery of their mind,
Ooh,
the slavery of their thoughts.
because it is that. I was going to use bondage, but I like slavery better.
Dude, you gotta strike a pose. And you can preface it. I emancipate, and listen, I'm going to use a word that's going to cause a lot of emotion. I emancipate minds, not people, minds that are in slavery to their old story.
That's exactly what you did for me when I told you the story I had, and you had me look at it differently with my mother's words.
Mm-hmm.
I went, oh my gosh, absolutely. And that was that was a pinnacle moment. It's things anyway.
So
Yeah.
maybe there's the business you're in. What business are you in? Helping people find their pinnacle moment. What business are you really in? I emancipate people from the slavery of their thoughts. And because it's not an often used word, you're going to have to really emphasize pinnacle. Everything you do, every story you now tell, every live you now do needs to be a pinnacle moment, needs to drive people to a pinnacle moment. Could be a pinnacle awareness. Tell a pinnacle awareness that you had. When people think of pinnacle, I think there's a golf ball named Pinnacle.
I think you're right.
Right? That's the closest they get to understanding what pinnacle means. I'd start a whole campaign on what if you found your pinnacle moment? Let's find out you know what a pinnacle moment might be? It's when the person who's been climbing Everest gets to stand at the mountaintop for 30 seconds. That's a pinnacle moment. It's only 30 seconds, but the months and the years of the planning and the expenses and the price they paid, and people die on the side of that mountain and they leave them there. What's your pinnacle moment? Is it life or is it death? Let me tell you a story. And become known as the Pinnacle Lady. And maybe you buy a dozen golf balls for your next BNI and you give out Pinnacle golf balls. And you sign it.
That's an amazing idea. Oh my goodness.
All from a parking lot fender bender. That and your pipe and smoke it.
Yeah, and this is I'm looking at the my notes, and it's more defined than ever. I mean, really lasered.
Now you have your niche. You only invite people to the next level who are looking for a pinnacle moment. And then you know that if they want a pinnacle moment, they're going to have to be emancipated from their thoughts. How hard is that? People will pay for pinnacle moments. Look at the money they pay to go to the top of Mount Everest.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't showing up in parking lots going, can you teach me how to get to the top of Mount Everest?
Or me saying, let me gift you with a solution to not pulling out of your parking lot fast, in hyper speed, and maybe looking in your rear view mirror. Anyway, all of that. I that's interesting. That this is awesome. This is awesome. And the last time you and I had a conversation, I can't remember if it was Zoom or phone call, but we were talking about me interviewing some business people, asking them the three questions that they would like their people to ask them. And these are people that have their own businesses, like a lawyer guy and anyway, doesn't matter. But the whole point, I couldn't connect with them. They looked at me odd, and there just hasn't been an opportunity for their schedule to open up, apparently. But I think when I talk about this, for me, it's going to mean something more for them, and I can see that opening up.
So I just asked ChatGPT, what does a pinnacle moment look like?
Oh, that's awesome.
And what does it have? It doesn't have a child being born. It has people with their arms up on top of a mountain, the
Yep.
pinnacle, the highest point of possibility. So I'd circle in time and space with that and allow yourself to understand what does it really mean to help people have a pinnacle moment, right? I helped you have a pinnacle moment just now.
You certainly did, and showing me that vision, I need to share with you that whenever in meditation and in when you were starting with the nest, which I can't get enough of, um th and thinking about a place, a particular place,
Mhm.
it is always for me. When I lived in Switzerland, it was a particular place in the Alps at the top. I'm sitting there. I'm sitting with my arms open watching the sunrise.
How many people know that story?
Um, nobody.
Yeah, I keep it a secret. See, we have all of this. We have all of the content. I'm just not sure why we don't use it. How many people do you know get to say they lived in Switzerland? And then how many people do you know? Did you ever go to the top of this? Did you ever go to this mountain in Switzerland?
You're asking me if I ever
Yeah.
went to it?
Mhm.
Oh, yeah, that's why I have this
Right.
vision. It was
Okay. So then
my
it's not
favorite
even
place ever.
okay. Then why don't you tell that story? If it's your favorite place ever, how do you think it feels? Because you never told anybody about it. What if I, oh, well, I have a best friend, but I'm not going to tell anybody about him.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Interesting. I took Maureen to that place when we were traveling one time. I said, "Let me take you to a very special place." Um, so she knows about it.
Oh, good. 2 out of 7 billion. We're making progress now. Her and now me. Look at that. You doubled the people.
Wow.
You're a rebel.
What and to think, and it's
Yeah, it makes you speechless, which is good. It's something so beautiful, so serene, so important. I'm just gonna shove it in a freaking corner and cover it up with shit. Why
and
would you do that?
the interesting thing is I'm thinking in my head, well, why haven't I told anybody about that? And
Because of the words of your mother. Why? I'll tell you why. This is how rampant, how raging we have to become aware. The battle we need to fight on a daily basis. Ah, welcome home.
I really feel it. My goodness. I love how all of this flows together. I just love it. Can't get enough of it. And yet, I'm always learning something about me.
Well, here's the thing. I didn't teach you a thing. I didn't. I helped you remember things that are most important, but I didn't teach you anything. You said the word pinnacle. Oh, there's a trigger. There's alarms going off in my head. These are words you love to use. You're a sophisticated woman. Pinnacle is a word that fits you. Not let's go mountaintop, go crush it, grind, get in the pinnacle. very elegant, very exact. Challenge is most people can't even imagine using the word pinnacle. It won't ever show up in their vocabulary. At a pinnacle moment, they don't even understand what that is. It has to come from a sophisticated, well-versed, well-rounded, well-traveled woman. You get to teach people pinnacle moments. What business you're in, I teach people pinnacle moments, how to have more pinnacle moments in their life. And how to remember the pinnacle moments that have already existed in their life. How do you do that? I emancipate them from the slavery of their thoughts.
Just it, you say, hearing you say that, repeat that back to me, is so empowering. And that's the power that I just, thank you for bringing it out of me. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Because that's this is
DIY doesn't work.
oh my gosh, no, no, no. And I'm a huge proponent. I am your poster child. Oh my goodness. Decades of DIY.
Mhm.
And I'm not, that's old story. We're not
Yep.
even going to talk
Yeah.
about it. Um, oh, I love this so much, Sean.
And look, and we did it in what, half an hour? 40 minutes?
I don't even know what time we started, but
I got
yes.
a clock on my thing. It shows up 40 minutes. Well, actually, that's 40. Yeah. So maybe, yeah, I'm 40 minutes.
Are you sure it was even
Yeah,
that long?
probably not, but in totality, right?
This is this is this is oh my goodness. I need I need to I need to get this DMP together because now I have my words.
Mhm.
It's all kind of fluffy and I don't want anybody to feel that they don't understand and all this crud of giving away. Well, part of it, I mean, it's all like I don't want to hurt. So concerned about them that I'm not putting the oxygen mask on me.
Mhm.
Sorry, it goes on me first.
Mhm.
It's mine. And actually not
And the
sorry.
only person you can help is the person you just were. The
Yes.
person you can help the most is the one you just were. So now everything is pinnacle moments.
And it all started with getting slammed.
That was a
Love it.
pinnacle. That was this
That
Berkeley.
was a pinnacle
That
moment.
was a pinnacle moment. And yet most people
Absolutely.
want to talk about the crash instead of the result.
That's I'm so grateful for that. And it's going in the book today.
Steve Jobs says you can only connect the dots in reverse. And now you've connected the dots.
Oh yeah. And I mean that's the reverse I call it reverse engineering a lot, go backwards.
Mhm.
Um yeah,
But go backwards from this moment backwards or from the future moment to now.
from the future moment to now. But this is more evidence of how
So
that
instead
works
of
better.
reverse engineering, now called it pinnacle building.
Pinnacle building. I'm the pinnacle lady.
Mhm. And I would be getting a dozen golf balls and having fun with it.
That's hysterical. I'm around. I'm surrounded by golfers. All the children, my husband, all my parents.
Tell them, go give me every pinnacle ball you found in the
Yes,
woods. Go find pinnacle balls for me.
I want pinnacle balls.
Yep.
Yeah, that it's hysterical. And this is, I mean, it's just more dots.
And you've seen golf balls that are stuck in the woods and some that come out of the water and some look clean, some look tarnished, some look this. Every one of those is a pinnacle moment. And you get to use those in your stories. You get to hold up a pinnacle ball that's got a big gash in it because the lawnmower hit it. Here's a pin. You can still barely read the word pinnacle. How many of us have been cut down before we had our pinnacle moment? But that's just the way my brain works.
And I love it because well, it's visual. I'm a very visual person too. It's impacting.
We need to have our props. I have a ranch. The ranch is my prop. It's a 30-acre prop. Kind of hard to travel with. That's why y'all got to come here.
So looking forward to it. Yeah. Um, awesome.
So what'd you learn? What'd you like?
Number one, learned that I'm still giving away stuff, and there's a price, and that there's a price to pay.
Hmm?
And I had my pinnacle moment that woke me up to, okay, what do I need to learn? That was what woke me up. And this part is that it connected me with exactly what my heart has been filled with. I just haven't been able to put words to it. So that's what I love. I love that. And the learning, just the universe is going to wake you up. It's, God's like, okay, here, bam. You didn't ask, so, I I was like, I have to ask what this means because I can't find it myself. I talked very briefly, but I talked to Veritas, who agreed I had to ask you. Ask Sean.
So now in dialogue, ask her what a pinnacle moment means now for the kingdom.
I hear key. No more fighting with the switch.
Yeah.
No more no, that has dissipated. That resistance of, the turning up, the knob was in my castle,
Mm-hmm.
and I there was a resistance to turning that up. Um, overcame it by just sheer perseverance. But this there's no resistance. It's easy.
Mm-hmm.
And turning on the switch, turning on the light switch, easy, because the key that that this because I'm emancipated. I'm emancipated.
How does that feel?
I love it. It feels it. The um, freedom to just run forward in glee.
Go share pinnacle moments.
I'm looking yes, I'm excited to do that. I'm excited
Right?
to.
Ask people, hey, listen, drop below. Tell me what would be your pinnacle moment in a sentence or two. And what you'll find is most moms will go back to their kids. Most dads will go to, if they're military, they'll go to something in military, they'll go to something else. But when you look at this, for your information, ain't nobody had a pinnacle moment yesterday. And they all did. But we have become under the illusion, the emancipation, that we're not allowed to have pinnacle moments every breath. I sit here and I hear the chickens walk across in front of my door, pecking in the pecking in the dog food bucket. Pinnacle moment. Pinnacle moment. Every day it happens. Pinnacle moment. And I can tell how full the bucket is because when they jump up on the edge, they tip the bucket over. If it's
And
full,
it's
they
not,
can't tip it over.
yeah.
Now, the food bucket, because it rained last night, I didn't put it outside yet. It's still in here. So that's why they're walking around outside going, where
Like,
is the food bucket?
Sean, yoo-hoo.
Pinnacle moment. I went and fed the sheep this morning so that I wouldn't have any distractions after the call. 4:30, I'm feeding the sheep. They're like, what are you doing? Because I put a new light up so they could come into the stalls and be in light and they could see me because they can't see me. I know that they can't see me just on the other edge. They can hear me. So because when you're outside of the light, if you're in the light, I can't see you on the other side of the light.
Right,
So I have to step into the light.
right.
So I stepped into the light and like, oh, it's you. We couldn't, because we can hear you, but we couldn't see you. That's weird, right? And you can watch their heads tilt and everything because they're not used to hearing me. They don't have a program that says, oh, if I hear him, that's him. Right? I don't believe they have that sophistication. But when they can see me and hear me, then when I put the food in, it's not just an arm coming into the light, it's me coming into the light. And like, oh, okay, now, okay, this all makes sense now. We're not as confused. We don't have this programming, this pattern. So me going up at 5 a.m. was a pinnacle moment for them. They happen all the time. We just think it's got to be Pulitzer Prize, which we'll never do. I don't know that I'll ever win a Pulitzer Prize. Maybe it's not on my bucket list.
Well, and that's when one of the first exercises I that I that you prompted me to do was list of 500 evidences.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, I counted the lines on each page and counted how many pages it would take to get to 500.
So now in your teachings, you can refer credit to me, but he'd call it an evidence list. I'd just like to call it your pinnacle list.
And that's exactly it. But the first thought was, well, let's see, what have I done that's close? I mean, almost Nobel Prize. I can't write it down
Yeah.
if I did, if, and yet one of the priming things that you said was you learn to walk, you're potty trained. I'm like,
Oh, you mean like
oh,
little things? They were huge things.
yes,
They were
yes,
pinnacle moment. The day you walked, your family called everybody.
yep.
The day you spoke, they called everybody. The day you said mama, dada, shit, right? Right? Pinnacle moments. Fleeting because of the emancipation of being a parent, the emancipation of being a child.
Wow. List of pinnacle moments. I love it. That has been transformative for me, my evidence list that I keep adding to. And I haven't put the parking lot set on and that's a pinnacle moment. Huge.
Now you know
So
why
is
people
this.
pay. Now you know
So
why
is this.
people pay 10 grand a month for this. You're getting it all.
Awesome possum. And by the way, I did get an invoice. Did you know
Okay.
that for this month?
Oh, I'll send you one.
I just thought it would come automatically. I'll
Oh,
tell you.
no,
No.
yeah, just let me know.
Okay. I
See,
went.
those are pinnacle moments that slip by me.
Well,
And thank you for reminding me.
well, you're welcome. You're welcome. Well, there was a temptation not to, but then I'm like, I'm out of integrity. Can't do that. just the still rinsing, just
So now use this as an example.
emancipating myself from that limiting belief of that lack, and
So imagine if as you shared, people said, I got to pay you. Because isn't that what you just did?
mhm.
So what if you set up a way? What if you set up a system? What if you set up an energy in your world? People going, listen, I owe you for this. Oh, great. Send me money. So just so that you can see that that's how money flows to me. Because if I need to ask for it, then I'm not providing enough value. If I'm not giving 10 or 100 times the value, somebody's going, listen, I feel like I'm cheating you, but I'm going to pay you the agreed price we agreed on. I forget what was. Was it what was it? 100?
100.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
it.
Well, quite frankly, the first time when I noticed, I went, "Oh, it's not here. He doesn't love me." Not really. That's just I'm like, "Well, did you need to let him know?"
Yeah.
And then it came into all of this, you need to ask, and um it was such a powerful morning this morning. It was so powerful. And I I mean, I didn't even know that RC was a sommelier. And when he started talking about the earth and the dead, I'm like, oh my gosh.
Talk about laser focused.
Wow. Amazing. Amazing. And then Selena showing you her papayas. I thought that was awesome.
Wasn't that the greatest? I love her.
What an
I
amazing
absolutely love her.
light. I I could hear her smile, and I could see her dimple before we ever saw her picture. Is a very
Yes.
amazing soul that I'm so grateful to be in the company of like, and
And she's blown away by this community because it's unlike anything. It's exactly what she needs, but she didn't know it existed. She can't
oh,
imagine that she could come in and this is now day 3. And how did I know she had papayas in her backyard? That she got to say, listen, I'm going to show you something, right? Physiology, focus, language, and meaning. She got up to show me to wanting. So the pinnacle moment for her was that I have what he wants
mm-hmm.
and I get to show him versus I got it, you ain't got it, right? It was just this, we're connected more than we know. These are all pinnacle moments.
And they and like, it just keeps my heart has been beating. I mean, I feel my heart. I know it's not
Right.
overly beating, but the
The
energy and the
vibration.
pulsating and the vibration is so awesome. It just I feel a glow all the time.
So where was that before you said the word pinnacle?
It was sort of traveling up and down my body with no place to land.
What was covering it? What was keeping it from landing?
Me understanding it and seeing it clearly.
So isn't that where most people's pinnacle moments are hidden in their own lives? Is with that expression, that explanation? That's what you want to dive deep on. Is why was it traveling up and down your body and never able to land? Because you get to use all of these things. You're not speaking from theory, right? I say I never speak from I can't speak from theory. I got too much real world crap going on. I don't have time for theory. So when you say, listen, you're going to hear me talking a lot about a particular word here from today, now until forever, and it's the word pinnacle. Let me tell you a story about it. And the reason that I couldn't find my own pinnacle moment because I never let it land. I was on life support. You know those life flight helicopters that just I mean my life flight helicopter couldn't land. He kept moving the landing pad.
Bingo. Kept moving the landing pad.
In sports, they say they keep moving the goalposts.
Oh, yes.
No, I'm saying, but to
Yes.
have the transition, to have the comparison. But mine, it was this landing pad. Every time I'd get close to touching down, they'd move it. And I don't know why. Because I was afraid to have my pinnacle moment, because the second I landed, my life changed. How many of you are in hover mode? And you're about to run out of fuel.
And here's something that I heard in they kept moving the landing pad. The they was all of me.
Addiction to approval.
Yes. Yes.
See, all of this stuff, it's all connected. I can't talk about anything else.
Fascinating. Just, I love it, love it, love it. I love it. And I need to let you go so that you can have more pinnacle moments as well. And I can share my
How's that
pinnacle.
feel? How's that feel?
Oh, it just feels so awesome.
I love that it's the word pinnacle. It's sophisticated, it's elegant. You can have fun with a golf ball. You can make it humorous. But even in its humor, it's still elegant.
It's so great. And
It's so you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And anyway, I love, I mean, I'm feeling a smile 100 times bigger than Selena's smile. And it's just, my whole body, every cell is smiling.
So bottle it. Find a scarf, find something, find a pair of glasses, put all of this energy into it. So that every time you say, this is my pinnacle piece.
Okay.
Could be a charm, could be something in your whatever, but just go create your pinnacle piece. And now imagine your merch, you sell pinnacle pieces. Have somebody go online and see if you can buy a golf ball cut in half.
Oh.
Most people have a pinnacle moment, but turn it around, but say it's not complete. All of these things, but we can have 1,001 things the way my marketing brain works.
And that's actually in my question last night before I went to bed is what resources, what talent, skills, and resources do I need? And in my thinking about it, that was one. It was like, you have no idea how to market.
But you do. You call Sean.
Exactly. And you just showed up for that. I didn't even put that together. Anyway, I love you. Congratulations on 1800. Can't wait till 1801.
Right?
That's going to be so great.
So here's my request. Give me a testimonial about today's event, today's conversation, today's session.
On
our coaching, on whatever it is.
Well, what modality do you want me to use?
So I want you to say,
well, I know what I'm going to say.
right.
But do
So
you want me to print it out? Do you want me to talk it out?
Yeah, talk it. What I would like is a video that says in under a couple of minutes, I went from a parking lot crash to the highest peak possible. In 40 minutes, I learned how to find my pinnacle moment. And then in that dialogue, do a little salesy. Do you struggle with that? Because I have, and I've been hanging around this guy for months now. And all it took was one conversation. After decades and decades and decades of seeking, in one conversation, we found our pinnacle moment. My pinnacle moment, my mission, my vision. I am so on fire that I'm unstoppable.
It's true.
So if you're looking to find your pinnacle moment, I'd encourage you to raise your hand and have a conversation with this farm boy from Ohio. He keeps playing that crap. Guy's a genius.
He totally is. I'm glad he knows it.
I do, but I let my results speak for myself.
Yep. Okay.
I love it.
I'll do it. So like a YouTube thing or something, or
Yeah. However you want. Yeah, sure.
I mean, I have no idea. I just
do it on your phone.
okay.
Yeah.
Love it. Great.
Enjoy your pinnacle moments.
You too. Have an amazing, outstanding day.
Well, you again use your words. Have a pinnacle day.
Have a pinnacle day.
Yeah,
Have a
let
pinnacle
that
day.
become part of your vernacular, part of who you are. Everything is pinnacle, but without diminishing it. Right? If you say pinnacle, 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 you'd be like in 5 minutes going, how do I even say pinnacle anymore? Always have the intensity when you say pinnacle that you mean top of the mountain, top of the go. Before you go to say anything, anytime you go to say pinnacle, go to your Swedish mountaintop,
Swiss.
Swiss mountaintop.
I'm there right now.
Good. There you go. Love you. Thank you for all you do.
I love you. Thank you.
Right.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome, welcome, welcome. Bye for now.
Bye.